What is going on, everybody? This is Dylan with Dylan Talks Tone, and this is your weekly gear news update. We're using a little different setup today because I've actually got a whole bunch of stuff set up here because we're shooting a thing that I can't tell you about yet, but it's pretty cool. So anyway, keep subscribed and hit the bell and all that kind of stuff because we got some pretty neat stuff coming pretty soon. I think you're gonna dig. Kind of outside the norm. It's gonna be pretty awesome. Anyway, so let's get into some music news today. We've got some guitar news, gear news. We've got some pretty cool stuff. Moog. Remember their Mooger, Fooger line of pedals? They had a bunch of them. I don't remember, maybe 10, something like that. The black ones with the wood sides. And they're pretty cool. They had a bunch of different stuff. Just a whole line of pedals. They did everything. But basically, I think in 2000, it says 18, here we go. 2018, they canceled that whole line of pedals. So now they've brought them back in a set of plugins. So now for $149 for the entry, like the introductory price, you can get those plugins that do all the things that all of those other pedals did. And they work with basically most DAWs. So if you are a plug-in guy, if you use your computer to record, which many more people think than you think do these days, that's pretty reasonable actually for the whole line of Mooger Fooger pedals. Origin Effects has reached 10 years of being in business. The creator of this company, I think he was known from like Focusrite and a couple other companies, started Origin Effects to make pedals. And so the Cali 76 and the Slide Rig compressor line are going to come out in a special edition colorway. You can see them here, like a brushed and etched looking thing. One of them has a gold knob. They're beautiful looking. Actually, they just sent me, Origin Effects just sent me their Halcyon pedal to review, and I've played it a little bit, and I have to say, if you have not tried one of these, I'll leave a link to them in the description, as well as everything else that we see today. But if you have not tried one of these, you should give it a shot. Not only is it like jewelry as far as a pedal goes, like they're just really nice. The pots, everything, the switches, it just really nice. And look at these ones. I mean, they're phenomenal looking, but they also, I don't know, there's a thing about them, like next level kind of thing about these. And we'll do a review on this and we'll get into it, but there is kind of a next level feel to them. It's pretty cool. Earthquaker Devices, they have teamed up with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and with artist Anthony Zart. You can see the stuff here. It's hard to kind of see in this particular picture, but there's these bats. I'm a Batman nut. There's these bats on this thing. Really cool looking art. These are limited edition things. The Plumes small signal shredder and the Hizumitis fuzz sustainer are both going to be available in these Rock and Roll Hall of Fame colorways. And these pedals are not expensive. I want to say, you know, not as far as this stuff goes. And special edition stuff usually is really expensive. $99 and $149 for this stuff. So if you want to pick these up in these special colors, there you go. The vintage sound of Supro. That is a thing, obviously. And so we're gonna put this in a smaller box and we're gonna be able to make it to where you can play in your bedroom, practice amp, that sort of thing at lower volumes, or Supro is. I'm just saying we're going to enjoy it. It is a 10-inch Celestion creamback in this amp, and it's got power scaling. I think 1 watt, 5 watt, and 15 watts because it's 1/6L6 tube amp, and it's got a tremolo, and it's got tube reverb, and they're calling it the Amulet. So just a little baby amp, looks vintage. I love Supro's Tolex that they use, really cool looking stuff. And there you go, a little practice amp. How much does this thing cost? $11.99. Lava Music. They've been pretty much known lately for these little carbon fiber travel guitars that they've been doing. The most notable one is the one with the little, like, it looks like it has an iPhone like stuck in the side of it, and it's got a little touch screen and you can do all the effects and all that stuff. So now they're coming out, and I want to say it's like $900 or something like that. They're coming out with a sub $500 version of this guitar. It's going to still have some effects in it, but they're just going to be dialed in with a couple of potentiometers, a lot more simple. And the guitar is going to be made out of HPL, which is a wood high pressure laminate, basically countertop Formica. That sounds terrible, and it's not as good as carbon fiber, but also at this price point, it kind of makes sense. A good HPL, Martin actually uses HPL in some of their lower priced, like on the road kind of acoustic guitars, and they do have a sound to them. They sound pretty cool. In a smaller guitar, the original little mini Martin LXM, actually I have an HPL LXM in the closet, and it's got a neat thing. It does a neat thing. It sounds really cool. It's not carbon fiber, but it's pretty cool, and it will stand up to the heat and humidity and all the sorts of things that you want a travel guitar to do, and be less than 500 bucks. Remember when Mooer came out with their GTRS line of guitars? So it was like, it looked like a Strat, but it had a bunch of digital stuff built into it, modeling and all that kind of stuff built into that guitar. Now they have, what is this thing called? They call it the Wing series, but it's fan frets, headless, GTRS guitars, but in a more modern kind of take. I don't know what else to say about it other than that. They are really weird looking, but really cool. And when we're talking about new and cool innovation stuff, headless fan fret stuff is it's very interesting to me. 42 millimeter wide nut, so fairly comfortable. And yeah, there's 126 effects in this thing. It's got a bunch of stuff. It's really cool. You can check it out. These guitars are $1,000, $1,100, something like that right in there. I feel like touring acoustics, that are electric acoustics, are kind of the rage right now. Of course, we've got the Acoustasonic. Of course, we've got in the nylon world, we've got the Tim Henson thing that just came out with Ibanez. That's a really cool guitar. We missed that one in the news, just kind of the way it came out and what we were doing. But that is a really cool guitar, and Tim Henson is a beast of a player. Godin has just come out with another one. It's called the G-Tour Nylon, and it looks like a Stratosonic. Remember the old school Stratosonic? It looked like it was a Stratocaster, but it was hollow. That's it. But the Stratosonic was steel. This is nylon, and I think it's, I don't know. There you go. That's it. It is not cheaper though. It's $13.99. So it is not. I think the Tim Henson one is somewhere in the $800 range. So obviously, being an Asian guitar, in this one, evidently at that price point, I don't think it is, but don't quote me on that because I'm not sure where it's made. 25.5-inch scale. It is maple with a cedar top. So some premium materials when it comes to this sort of thing. And there you go. If you want a nylon guitar that you can plug into your amp or just play quietly on your couch. I feel like we're just doing nothing but weird guitars today. This is really fun. Seems like sometimes this stuff is just like bold new graphics. We got a new color. Hey, there's a new thing and it's brown now. Or, you know what I mean? Like a new fancy wood. Like 90% of the time, this is awesome. This is super fun. I'm digging it. Danelectro. Remember their Longhorn guitars? The baritones? They're back. The 50s baritone looking thing with the lipstick pickups in it. They're going to be pretty reasonable in the $600 area, and you're going to be able to have a Danelectro baritone. And when you pull this thing out on the stage, when somebody else is pulling out a baritone telly and you pull one of these babies out, people are going to notice. The cool part is, you know, if you have something you need to hang, like some laundry or something, there you go. It's kind of like a treadmill or you put that in your bedroom and you might never use it, but you'll be able to hang your laundry on it. All joking aside, these are really cool. 29.72 scale. So this is a longer scale than the Fender one actually. And for right around the same price. So pretty cool guitar. Weird, but that's what we're doing this week. Now that we've got all the weird excitement out of the way, let's get back to some bold new graphics, shall we? This is the bold new graphics section of the gear news. Gibson and Dave Mustaine. The Flying V EXP. Seems like the Flying V has been in the news quite a bit lately. So we've got the Flying V EXP, but this is like a custom thing. If you watch the rig, I want to say, if you watch the rig rundown with John Bollinger a couple weeks ago that he did, or maybe a month ago or something, that he did with Dave Mustaine, he might have flashed this, I think. So it's kind of like a custom bound top, super fancy gold hardware version of his V. I don't know how available this is going to be. I don't know how many there are going to be, because I don't think there's going to be that many of them, and they're not going to be cheap. I can guarantee you that. So, but they're cool. But they're very cool, and there you go. If you're into it, you're into it. Remember that the cool part about Dave Mustaine stuff is it's 25.5-inch scale. So, you know, for a Gibson thing, that's weird, and that's pretty neat. Moving on to Fender, you will be able to get your bold new graphics in more new countries. So if you want to use the Fender Mod Shop, which is basically you go to the Fender Mod Shop, you can click on stuff, and they have tons of combinations. So you can be like, I want this color pick guard, which is the most important thing about a Fender, is choosing the pick guard color. You can do all of that stuff, and you can do it in the UK, Germany, and France, and you could never do that before. So for those of you that live in those countries, this service of picking your pick guard color from Fender is available to you now. This is a combination of bold new graphics and weird. Fender Japan. You know them. The ones who are like, whatever Fender's doing, we're going to do that, but we're going to do it way weirder. And then we're going to do it at a relatively reasonable price, sometimes. And then we're going to sell every one of them, because they're always selling every one of these things. I picked a shirt today because, you know, we got to be summary with the, what is this thing? The Art Canvas Esquire models. There are going to be 15 of each of these, which I would imagine, as hot as the guitar market is in Japan, these are probably already sold. But if you want some 50s to 70s wallpaper on your Esquire, here you go. I don't know what to say about them other than that. It's interesting that the art is oriented this way, which means you're going to buy this guitar and you're going to hang it on the wall and you're never going to play it. Because if you did it this way, then everybody would like come up to you at the gig and look at you sideways. So you are really buying this guitar for the art, I think. They're $1,300 bucks, but there's only going to be 15 of them. So that means they're already sold. By the time you see this, they're already sold. Would you play this? In fact, they've got them pictured in the article sideways. It kind of makes no sense to me. But I guess if you're into it. It has been an eventful week around here at Dylan Talks Tone. We've been making all kinds of parts. Finally getting caught up from the hurricane damage to one of our main suppliers. So things are rolling. We are cranking them out. And that's pretty cool. As well as we got some really cool new video stuff coming up. We're going to put a video out on Friday this week. FYI, we don't usually do that, but we've got so much stuff to talk about that I've been shooting every day in between making videos or making pickups. We've been shooting every day. So we've got this today. We've got our live stream, obviously, tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Please show up and hang out with me for that, because I don't have Leslie here, and I'm going to need your help. So that's going to be a thing, as well as Friday. And then on Monday, we have a video about guitar stuff and another live stream on Tuesday. So thanks for hanging out. This has been super fun. Next week, we're going to be coming at you from Nashville. So that's pretty cool. We'll be in Nashville, Tennessee, doing some guitar-related work stuff up there. Do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, the like button, use the links below, and we'll see you in the next video.